Hi, welcome to the video. I recently figured out that a chicken egg is 4.13 and a crap ton of numbers square inches, roughly 0.028696585170083333 square feet. So naturally, I wanted to figure out how many it would take to fill the city of Whiterun in the hit 2011 game Skyrim. And by fill, I mean fill. To find this number, we have to do a lot of math. So, yeah, let's get crunching, baby. The formula of finding the area of a rectangle is length times width. I was going to do the area of a circle, considering how the walls around the city kind of bend, but figured it was closer to a rectangle in the end, so that's what we went with for this experiment. I walked in starting with the lower courtyard where all the important places are and stuff. Try to find the best way to get an accurate measurement considering how many buildings were in the way from taking a straight length or straight width measurement. They really didn't plan on an idiot trying to do something like this. An idiot like me, but here we are. This might actually be the dumbest idea I've ever had for anything ever, and this might be one of the stupidest videos on YouTube. But fuck it, we ball. Here's how this works. My character is a high elf, which according to this Google screenshot, the average height is approximately 6'4". According to this other Google screenshot, the average 6'4" tall person takes about 3 feet per step. I wouldn't know about that because I'm not that genetically gifted in more ways than one, but we don't go down those paths. So by knowing this, we can do the math of my character's footsteps being 3 feet. So if I walked 100 steps, then that's 300 feet. Catching on? Yeah? And yes, yeah, I mean, when I say footsteps, I mean I sat here with the volume turned all the way up and listening to nothing but footsteps for however many hours. So if I seem like I should be in a psych ward right now, that's probably because I should be. Using this method, we calculated that the area of the lower courtyard is roughly 55,000 feet. 46 for the 1,000. What? 46,000 for the middle courtyard and 7425 for the portion that surrounds Dragon's Reach. Now, here comes the kicker, okay? When I said fill, I meant fill, right? The city walls / the city's depth altogether really were a huge problem because I'm not smart, all right? I figured by scouring each portion of wall would give me a rough estimate, of the average wall height, which is important because if you want to fill the city of Whiterun, we have to bring the eggs to a minimum of the same height of the walls, right? So I ran around and I got the number of 9 feet on average because some spots were like 12 to 15, especially at the corners or the beginning of the wall at the gate entrance, or the beginning of the city, if that makes sense, while some were only 4 or 5 feet. However, the geography of the inner city, especially the middle courtyard where the fake Yggdrasil is, was weird because it was kind of like a small hole, meaning it was much lower than the edges, plus the water that obviously goes down below ground level, plus the lower portions of the walls like the defense spots, against dragons and stuff because Skyrim. So combining 9 feet on average tall walls plus the geography combined, I decided to multiply our area by 16 feet because that seemed like a decent number, I guess. So some of you might be asking, however, well, why does that matter? Just do the area and tell us the fucking number, Mr. Video Man. While I appreciate your input, random person I've never met before in my life, height, yes, height, is an incredibly important number to this equation. If you want to find the volume to something, you need height, and whether you're just now realizing this or not, volume is the entire reason that we are here. As you can see by this new Google screenshot. The formula for volume requires height, and height also causes the most ridiculous number out of this whole experiment, so be sure to wait for that part because hot diggity damn Batman. It gets nutty. Continuing with the measurements, your Vasquez courtyard is roughly 9,000 and Whiterun, blacksmithing area is 675, but obviously it has no height to it. Real flat spot, really flat, so nothing crazy. It's just kind of an area. It's kind of like a backyard, I guess, if you want to call it a backyard. Now, before we begin, we are also going to be assuming that this is obviously not the exact number of eggs needed or volume for that matter. So give me like a 15% deviation both ways and we'll call it even. All right, because I know I'm not dead on, but I know I'm definitely in the ballpark. So roughly and approximately will be a lot of words said in this video. Roughly and approximately. So cut me some slack. Really appreciate that. Adding all of these numbers up that I've gave you so far will put the volume of Whiterun at 1,880,825, which would fit, hold on to your hats, 66,382,839.7981 large chicken eggs, which is only about 0.66% of what the United States produces a year. Them's a lot of hens. That's a lot of chickens. A lot of chickens that would never grow to be a chicken either. That's a lot of chickens. Now, before I figured out the answer, obviously, I asked some people I know to guess how many eggs, and somebody said 1 million. Somebody said 5,790,000. Cool number. And then somebody else guessed 500 million. My guess was 1 billion. So there's that, I guess. So yeah, the volume of Whiterun. Who would have guessed, right? I mean, this gotta be the end of the video. Nobody would ever be crazy enough to measure each building's volume individually, or their square footage, or anything like that, would they? It's definitely the end of the video. Segue. Started with Dragon's Reach and worked my way down building to building, section by section, combining Dragon's Reach Hall and the other not so important rooms like Lord Farquaad and his potions. Gave us 62,000 square feet on just this section of Dragon's Reach, which is already more than any of the other courtyards. This Jarl has a real nice life, huh? Nice lot. Knife lies? What? This Jarl has a real nice life, huh? Man, what a pimp. What a pimp. But yeah, this is when number get crazy, right? So according to this, guess what? You'll never believe it. Google screenshot. An arrow travels 90 feet per second. So I busted out my bow and stopwatched the arrow hitting the ceiling. As you can tell by this little cloud of smoke right here. And that gave me the assumption, I guess, the experiment of that gave me the rough calculation that this ceiling is about 72 feet tall. 72 is a very important number. Don't forget that one. We'll be coming back to that. Very important number. This brings Dragon's Reach Hall to an average ceiling height of 35 feet, including the dungeon at 3,000 square feet and 9 feet tall ceilings. The porch, which is where you capture a dragon, spoilers of a 15-year-old game by the way, is 7,659, but also a 72 feet high ceilings. I mean, this number is a little nuanced though for the porch, because once you fill it so far, the ceilings would just kind of roll out the hole. So take that number with a grain of salt, I guess. And then 5,100 for the living quarters section of Dragon's Reach, with an average ceiling height of also 35 feet, being brought up massively by this portion for whatever reason, brings the total volume of Dragon's Reach to 2,100,000 185,759, which can hold a total egg number of 106,635,301.592. Hot damn. So yeah, remember when I said hot would be crazy? Yeah, that soars past the courtyards altogether. That number just is insane. That's crazy. If you're wondering, by the way, how many eggs would fit into each space, is I'm taking square footage and dividing it into each volume number. I'll prefer to have the volume of a chicken egg, but nobody really seems to know that, and I can't find any credible sources about it. So I'm just taking what information I have. I could get the volume of a chicken egg myself, but then I feel like that would be less trustworthy because people probably wouldn't trust me to do that. And since I can't credit it, I'm working with what I got. So that's why we have the deviation to help me out. Anyway, away from that craziness and onto less important things, the total volume of the Hall of the Dead is 116,640, which fits an egg number of 4,116,754.31476. The temple of whoever the fuck that chick is has a volume of 115,320, very close to the Hall of the Dead, which fits 4,070,165.53136. Each of the houses are the same. There are a total of 5 of them, including the one the player can own, with 23,520 volume, added up together with a total egg number of 4,150,637.06182. A couple exceptions to this, however, is Heimsker's house, Olava the Feeble's house, and Yosalda's house. These little bros live in shacks. They have a total volume of 5,400, all added together, which has an egg number of 571,771.432605. Other exceptions to this rule would be the Battleborn and Greymane houses, with Battleborn having a 354,710.05541 egg number advantage. So if you're a Battleborn fan, you're welcome. Greymane fans eat dirt, I guess. Sorry, not sorry. Jorvasker kind of caught me off guard doing this experiment. I just want to stop on this for a second. I realize how big Dragon's Reach is. Okay, it's massive. But apparently it's approximately 10 times bigger than Jorvasker, which had a measly egg number of 10,129,530.9357. Okay, well obviously that's not measly. Alright, I'm not dumb. It's massive. I know. But I mean, come on. It's the companions. Man, the cool people and werewolves and stuff. I was hoping for at least around like 30 million at the minimum, but no. They got like a third of that, so. Elder Scrolls 6 better lock in for the companions, man. That's all I'm saying. They need some love. I feel like they've been let down. Anywho, the smallest by far, wasn't even close, poor bastards, was the guards barrack by the entrance of Whiterun. I mean, those poor bastards. Tiny volume of 3,900, meaning they can only hold 137,648.67822. Unlike the other guards barracks tucked away in the far back corner of the bottom courtyard, it has a total volume of 19,080 and an egg number of 673,419.67872. Going from the bigger guards barracks leads us down underground into the sewer to Dragon's Reach dungeon, which has a volume of 40,000 and an egg number of 1,411,781.31507. Also by far the easiest to judge because I mean it's like the same width throughout. I just had to like measure how long it was. So shout out to the dev team on that. What a bunch of chads. Except for the part where I got stuck in the ground and had to transform into a werewolf to get out, and then got killed by a Whiterun guard and had to repick the expert lock again. That took me long enough to do. Apart from that, like the sewers, nice place, 10 out of 10, would recommend. Would recommend. There's also a dead skeever there if you're a animal fan, I guess. Alright, almost done. Promise, just a few more numbers. Speaking of numbers, Warbanes with a volume of 22,680 and an egg number of 800,480.005647, which is significantly smaller than Bellathor's shop at 42,390 and an egg number of 1,496,135.24865. Very similar to Arcadia's Cauldron at 42,187.5 and 1,488,988.10574 eggs. It's almost like they're the exact same building and I just miscounted a step, aka 3 feet. There's also these little holes next to the gate that I included with a volume of 900 and 63,530.1591784 eggs, so there's that if you wanted it. That just leaves the last two places being the Drunken Huntsman and the Bannered Mare at 1,413,546.04172 and 1,962,376.02795. Which means adding all of these places together, Whiterun has a total volume of, drumroll please, 5,829,770.5. You feel like you're taking a math exam yet? I sure as shit do, man. I tell you what. This number brings us to the total answer. How many eggs would it take to fill Whiterun? Man, it would be crazy if I just ended the video here, wouldn't it? Man, that would be so rage baity and really funny. But no, it's 209,120,830.829. So the person that guessed the oddly specific number of 5,790,000 apparently won. So congratulations to them. They win nothing. Had to break it to them. And congratulations to you if you also guessed in the ballpark and got relatively close. I would give you a pat on the back, but that's kind of impossible right now. So, yeah. Anyway, I'm very tired. This took a long time. It's a long time. So, if you could like and or subscribe, I would greatly appreciate that. And, yeah. I've been Jeffrey. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go take a nap now.